me back. But I still love
Sorry.
you.
I love you more.
It just throws you under the bus immediately.
Right, you see that?
No, you broke my heart, but I still love you.
I love you forever, Terry.
I know you do.
Hey,
All right,
Josh,
friends.
if I wanted to do this with a little audience participation, and I wanted to hear what they were saying back, would you just like say
I'll just tell you what they say.
Okay, great.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. All right. Okay, if we're ready, let's do it. So today's sponsor is FitGrid. Some of you know FitGrid and know NT already. Longtime friend, colleague. He's also one of the founders of Boutique Fitness Solutions and the Boutique Fitness Summit. And we go in the same circles, but FitGrid specifically is a product that I feel like has a pretty intense ability to empower a lot of things around community. I'm not going to tell you, but I'm going to let NT tell you about it a little bit more. And we're really, first off, thankful, NT, for sponsoring the summit and being part of this. And a lot of our conversation has been directly in line, actually, especially today, with some of the solutions that you're offering. So we're excited to hear about it. And there is going to be some participation. So as you guys talk, I'll just repeat it through to NT, and he'll be the speaker here as we go. But let's do it. I'll let you take it from there, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Hey, everyone. Thanks for having us. We are exceptionally jealous of where you are right now. Although, as I said, I have Nick and Melinda from our team here as well. And Melinda is in Colorado, which is really cold. But those plants she has in the background makes it look like she's where you are. So we try to feel good. Okay. FitGrid. Some of you may have heard of FitGrid. I'm actually going to start just by speaking at a higher level and getting into the specifics of what we do and how we think we can help. But FitGrid is all about community. It's all about community. It was built with the idea that fitness is all about the people, and that you are more likely to go back to class the more connected you are to the other people around you. So if I go into a class, the more connected I am to the other clients, the more connected I am to the instructor, the more connected I am to the front desk person, the owner, you name it, the more likely I am to go back, and therefore to spend more money with you, and probably to invite my friends in because I love it. I love it so much. So here's where some of the audience participation comes in. How do you guys invest in your community? Just throw an answer out there. How do you invest in your community?
Someone said FitGrid.
Damn, right there. Okay, I'm leaving now.
Time. So like private group / time and content, newsletter.
Okay. And
how do we invest in the community? Okay, that's what we got for now.
Okay, and how do you know that your investment in communities are actually delivering a return on investment for you? How do you measure that?
Oh, we have lots of tactics for that. We look at our KPIs.
KPIs.
Which one?
Ultimately sales, right? Retention.
Sales and retention.
Return rate.
Sales, retention, return rate. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And do your KPIs that you look at, sales, retention, return rates, do they tell you which part of your community initiative are actually generating that? Or do you just throw all of these ideas in there and then it just comes back with a KPI and goes, okay, I have to do all 10 of them? Because that sounds exhausting to me.
They're all in one bucket.
They're all in one bucket. Okay. So here's the thing. And those of you that know me know that I've been preaching this for years, right? I think that community is one of the biggest things that we can invest in. I also think that it's one of the things that we just throw out there and we talk about all the time. We have no idea how to actually measure it, right? And no idea how to actually say, this is a program that we should invest in as much as we invest in our toilets, which break down, or as much as we invest in the marketing program to get new people in, I believe that we do not know how to do that very well. And one of the things that we've been investing in at FitGrid from a community perspective is being able to say to you that if you put $1 in to your community program here, that here's how much you get out on the other side. And we think that's really, really, really important. And we don't know anyone else that actually does that. So what I want to do is I want to take a step back, and I'm going to talk about community from the perspective of community as a key driver of the dollars in your business. Because we all know that it takes so much more. You spend 5 times more to get a new client, keep the existing client, keep your dollars in your business. Let me show you how we do that, and I'll do that quickly. And then what I want to offer at the end of this is an opportunity for you as a group. I was actually talking to Josh and Terry about this before. But if you're interested in this, we'd like to bring all of you on to try the program at one point in time. That's why Melinda's on here. She's in charge of our client success group, and to actually try the program. And if you do it the way that we suggest, we guarantee that you'll get your money back if it doesn't work for you. I'll talk about that later. But let me just talk through the program here itself from a perspective that is that's like, how do you demonstrate the money that you can get back from your community? All right, so here we go. So we consider ourselves actually relationship management software. That's how we think about ourselves. And the big problem that we're trying to solve is churn, right? Attrition, people not coming back. So we know that pre-COVID, studios were losing about 30% of their clients per year. Then COVID hits, everyone gets a whole bunch of different fitness options, right? And now as we're coming back, we're finding it hard to bring our clients back in. Sometimes they come back in, but then they bounce back out. And one of the big challenges that we have is, and I will say this till I'm blue in the face, that'll be hard, but until I'm blue in the face, one of the problems is that we have become a very lonely and isolated society. Technology we thought would bring us together has actually helped to isolate us, right? And so I'm coming into my studio because I am looking for connection. I'm looking for community. And if you have a new client that's coming in particular, and they don't feel that immediate connection, they're not coming back, right? So if a client comes in and we have these economic headwinds, right? We're potentially going into recession, all the rest of that. If they feel like I didn't connect with anyone in my class, I wasn't feeling the instructor, the vibe wasn't there, I felt self-conscious, the workout was too hard, or even the pure economic thing, if I want to reduce my expenses, if they're feeling any of that, they are not coming back. So what do we do to keep them? We're about to go into January. We hope that we get that bump. We get those new people coming in. January, February, New Year's resolution. You better do everything you can to keep them there and keep them on board. So our perspective has been to build community management software, but to actually tie that back to the revenue and the retention that you're seeing, and ultimately the profit. And it's under that philosophy that we talked about that fitness is all about the people. Now, I'm going to give you the broad overview of the system, but I'm actually going to suggest one specific feature that you would use and that would show you how you measure that result, and then just go from there. So yes, there's a studio admin system that allows the staff and your managers and yourself to understand who's in the community and to communicate with them. There's the instructor app, which allows, and you guys would have heard about some of this before, allows the instructors to know what's going on with clients, who's in class, and to send follow-up messages. Then there's the class app that we have, which allows the clients to know when their friends sign up for class, who's in class. It brings the social aspect, and that gets people to come back, right? Each of those things. We're going to zone in on your instructors. I know instructors can be controversial sometimes, but the reality of the situation is that if we can figure out how to align your interests with their interests, they are the person who is leading your community every single day. They're the reason why I feel empowered to come back, right? Because they help me feel like I can run through a wall. So we're going to zone in on that middle piece just for a second. So FitGrid Pro. Again, some of you would have heard about this. There's a new thing that we have that goes directly back towards how this works towards driving revenue. So you have the app. It lets you see who's in class. It's the instructor see who's in class. You can see individual profiles. You can see an overview of the stats, and you can send follow-up messages. Guess what? It works. How much does it work? Let me go forward here. It increases client return rates. It increases revenue. It increases lifespan in studios. By how much? 35% more first-time clients end up coming back. 2.4 times more revenue within the first 90 days. And it keeps the clients in the studios 3 or more months longer. Right? That's massive. Let me show you how we actually start to prove that to you. And please don't call me crazy for the number of tabs that I have open. It's a hard life.
I was
All right.
literally about to call you out on that, NT, but you went right into the presentation.
Let it go. Just let it go. So, we have a whole community dashboard. We're not going to go through all of this, but I'm going to go specifically to FitGrid Pro, to this idea that we can send these messages out and that we can measure how well that brings people back. So let me go down to this section. And in this section, we have this notion of follow-up effectiveness. And I'm going to go into here. And in this follow-up effectiveness, what we do is we measure first-time clients into your studio. So in September, all of the first-time clients here, there were 69 that received follow-ups from the instructors that were using this app, and 96 that did not receive follow-ups. We look forward 30 days. How many of those people came back? Of the 69 that got follow-ups, 55% of them came back within 30 days. Of those that didn't receive follow-ups, of the 96 that did not receive follow-ups, only 28% came back. Now, that's a 27% difference, right? And if you average that over the 6 months for this studio, which we have permission to show you, 27% difference, 27% increase for follow-ups versus not follow-ups. That speaks to the power of personalization. Now, some of you will say, some of you ask, I guess it's all the time, but wait, NT, how do you know that that was specifically what FitGrid did? Like, it could be anything. We're doing all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, yes, you're doing all sorts of stuff. That is true. But this is actually completely random. We didn't tell the instructors which people they should send follow-ups to versus not. So if you have other programs or other things that you're doing, then theoretically across all of these first-time clients, they're all getting that other stuff. So this is really just the people that got follow-ups versus those that didn't. This is the impact. Now, if you don't believe that, then there's not much more I can do except say that that's what it is. But if you do believe it, here's the innovation that we added. How much revenue did that generate? So what we did was we said, take those people, look at them 90 days into the future, and let's go to MindBody and let's say, how much money did those people make for you over the next 90 days? And we measured it. And you should be able to measure this also. And in fact, we actually we even went further than that, because here's the thing. If you go back here, right, you say, okay, well, here's an impact. 55% of these people came back for getting the messages, and only 28% did. Let's say, forget the math for a second. Let's say that 10 extra people in the month of September that came back because of these messages versus those that did not. Well, those 10 people, they're going to be with you for the next 11 months. So you're making money from them in September, in October, in November, in December. And guess what? The month before, we did the same thing for you. We brought 7 extra people in, and they stayed with you for August, for September, etc. Right? So it starts to add up and it starts to pile up. And what we did over here is we said, okay, let's look at it. So here is a studio that has been using FitGrid for 12 months. According to that methodology, $38,000 is what was made over that time frame because they did it consistently for 12 months. How do we get that? We show you, right, for each one of the months, how many people received follow-ups, how many people did not. And then we go to MindBody and we say, add up all the people that got the follow-ups, go and look 90 days in the future, how much revenue did they generate? $54,929. $54,929. For all of the people that receive follow-ups, great. Divide that by how many people receive follow-ups, $82.98 per client that got follow-ups. Do the same thing for the people who did not receive follow-ups. How much did they generate? $25.74. So this difference is because of the follow-ups. Again, if you believe that this is completely random and that that's about the follow-up. So take the $57 difference here, right? The $82.98 minus the $25.74, that's $57 difference. And multiply that by all of these people that got follow-ups. That's how much more money was made as a result of the follow-up. Now, I don't know whether that was confusing, whether or not that makes sense. I will ask you guys that case. But this is the first instance that I know of that any marketing retention program software out there touching the space has actually attempted to quantify for you how much money we are actually making for the effort that you are putting out. And potentially, I don't think it's controversial. I'm a math guy. I don't think it's controversial at all. But that is what we want to do because we want to do two things. The first thing is we actually want you to understand how powerful it is to invest in community on a dollar basis. And the second thing is because we're not afraid of saying, try it. And if it doesn't work for you, you shouldn't use it. But if it does, here's how much money it's actually making for you. So I'm going to stop there because I want to allow the time for some questions, etc. But I really wanted to come back to this idea of then what are we really saying we're doing? Right? I can keep this short and sweet. Partially also because Josh told me keep it short and sweet, dude. but we're aiming to save you time. We're aiming to allow you to personalize communication. We're aiming to save you money, right? Like if you were actually to try to figure out the person to go out, figure out, like count all this stuff up, you'd have to pay a lot of money. We're actually trying to help you distribute responsibilities. I ran a pop-up studio before I started the software company. It's exhausting, right? It's a pyramid. At the top, you have the owners, the managers, front desk people. In general, call it 5 people. Then maybe you have 10 to 15 coaches and you have maybe 300 to 500 clients. All of the work is up here, owners and managers, right? Acquisition, marketing, retention, et cetera. The teacher just gets to teach and do her job. It's great. I think that should be more distributed. The software helps you to distribute the load, right? Have other people start to help you do your job. It increases lifespan, and now we're saying we're not afraid to show you the results. So that is my offer to you. And it's all about, I think it's opportune because we're coming into a season where you should hopefully get a bunch of new clients. Every new client you get, do everything you can to keep it. And so that is why, as I wind down, if you are interested in this, then I would like you to please, and this is, you can do this in addition to, and Josh, tell me if you're able to corral interest as well. Maybe folks want to talk about it there also. But we would like to get you guys, all 16 of you, as a class, right, in and using this so that we can create sort of a forum, right? So you guys can start to help each other and talk about it, and YogaBiz can help you as you go through this so that you can really understand the value and the benefit. And if you're interested, send the email to nt@fitgrid.com, put the subject line YogaBiz offer, your name, your studio, your phone number. Josh and Terry, tell me if you also want to corral them in a different way as well. And here's the deal. The deal is that we believe in this so much. What are we going to do? We're going to do next. What are we going to do, Melinda? We're offering a money-back guarantee. That's right. It's a money-back guarantee. If we do not increase the percentage, the lift that you see in first-time clients returning after you use it for 90 days, you'll get your money back. Of course, there's like fine print and all the rest of it. You'll get your money back, right? So is this something that sounds at all appealing? Josh, let me open it up to you and open up the set of questions that folks might have.
Sounds good to me. Let's see what other people have to say. Yeah, I think doing it as a cohort so that we can see how it collectively works is good as well. I love the money back guarantee element. A lot of our conversation today has been around the personalization of communication and how that has high impact on clients for sure. One question that's coming up for me and to you is, can you zoom us in, not necessarily to show us, but the personalization of the follow-up itself?
Yeah.
What does that look like? So it's like templated stuff, or I just write it every time, or what's the practical side of that?
Okay, so I am going to come in. I'm going to come into the meeting again. If you guys can let me in, and I will show you. I'll show you from my phone. Here we go. That's what it says, waiting for me. There you go. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, no audio. All right, let me share my screen. Okay, so first of all, inside the studio admin system, you as the studio owner, you get to say which cohort of people you would like your instructors to follow up with. So you could say they can follow up with that. They can send a follow-up message to anyone in the class, right? Or they can send a follow-up message only to first-time clients, the third-time clients, the fifth-time clients. And each time that you specify a group of people that they can follow up with, you can give a sense of what you want the message to be. Hey guys, it was good to see you. Hope to see you again, right? And then what happens is that the instructor, when they come into the app, they get to customize that message so it sounds like them. Now, because I sound like B.A. Baracus, when I talk, I'll be like, yo, it was good seeing you again, peace, NT, right? That's how I sound when I do my thing. So I might sound like that. I'm going to go directly. I'm going to show you this app. I'm going to show you the app and the different features that are in there. But let me go directly to the follow-up for a second so that you can see that. And here, for example, is a class, the 30-minute HIT Express class. We can see that. And if I tap on any or all clients, this automatically pulls up all the clients that were in that class. And if I tap create a message as the instructor, so this is an instructor, if I tap create a message, it automatically pulls up the template that they had created, right? And so the subject is hot, hot fire in class. The message just goes out to all the people, but it looks like it's going individually. So it's hi, and then the client's first name, and you rock this day in class, way to bring the heat, best Veronica, right? And I can actually change that. So I can change the subject, and I can also change the body. I can also choose to add my social media handle, and I can click send. If I had a conversation, let's say with Alice here, I could just choose Alice, and I could just send a message directly to Alice. So some of the things that we talk about, you'll notice that there are some highlights here. First time to you, those are clients that are first time to that instructor. Then there's first time to the studio, that's the client that's first time to the studio. Then there's everybody else. One of the things that we encourage is if it's first time to the studio or first time to the instructor, craft a special message. If it's someone else generally, you can just send it out to the rest of the people generally. One of the questions that people have is, studio owners have, is how much time does this take? You know, do I have to pay my instructors for this or whatever it happens to be? And the answer to that is, look, you're already paying them to stay 15, 20 minutes over and come before. This is something that's actually so simple and so quick to get it done in like 2 minutes, and then it's done. And it has the impact that I said, 35%, you know, increase in clients coming back. People also have the question. They say, okay, this is great, it's email, but I really, really believe in text. Text is coming, folks. I got it. I heard the message. I heard you. It's coming. Okay, so you're going to be able to text it. When I say it's coming, I'm talking about it's coming January, February type time frame, right? So you will be able to send email messages. You will also be able to send text messages. And, you know, you count on me, the texting is going to have a little something extra, you know, a little something spicy that makes it not just about texting. I won't tell you what that is. That's the sending messages aspect. The rest of this is just great for the instructors and great for you as a studio. It highlights really quickly. 41% of the clients, so this instructor Veronica can see that she has a 41% return rate for clients. The messages that she's sending are getting a 76% open rate. If you turned on another part of our system where we ask for feedback from the clients about the instructor, then that feedback, you can choose to give that to the instructor. They won't see the numerical rating, but any written feedback they can. So if we tap here where it says client feedback, no new reviews, that's because she likes your review. So show already read, here it is. Tap one of them, very encouraging and talented instructor. That was from the 30-minute Hit Express class on November 9th at 12:30, right? Her class is the best, by far the best quality. She actually puts effort into music, the actual workout, and assists where she can. So one of the good things about this, if you turn that on, is that the instructors are getting powerful, positive feedback, which helps them feel good, but also it's real-time correction if the clients didn't like anything about it. So you don't have to sit down until wait until your monthly review. You can do that immediately. The other thing is the classes, right? So this is the list of all of the classes. I'm going to tap on the 35-minute class that's coming up. Here are all the people that are in the class. And what we do is we give an overview of the class so that the instructor knows what they're coming into, the teacher. So one person is a first visit client, 4 people, second visit, 30 people are regular. Here's the gender and age breakdown. And sometimes people start to use our other app, the consumer app, and then we can pull in other pieces of information like those that have head and neck injuries. You tap on it and be like, who has a head and neck injury? Oh, Pamela does, right? And of course, each profile, this is Pamela, it'll come up with the picture eventually, but there's Pamela, and then Pamela's 45. This is the membership that she has. Here are the different fitness goals, motivations to stay fit, again, because she entered that information in the app, but the instructor can see how many times she's been to the studio, how many times she's been to that instructor, and can also leave notes down here at the bottom. And a note can be a personal note, you know, her Pamela's birthday is Friday, or a shared note, Pamela sprained her ankle, and then all the instructors know about it. So this is what we suggest, starting with from a personalization perspective. It allows you to have personalized messages, and also allows you to personalize the feeling or the experience that the clients have to your studio to drive retention. That long way to answer the question, Josh. Did I do all right?
Yeah, that's awesome. I just think I like that it just makes it simple for that communication to take place. So one obvious question that's coming up, what about non-mind body people? Does FitGrid have a plan for future integrations with other platforms?
So we are already integrated with Mariana Tech.
Yep.
We have a signed agreement with Wellness Living, and we are in conversations with Club Ready as well. So those are the next 2 that are on the docket. And of course, you know, I want to talk to my good friend Laura about what's going on with Walla. What's the deal with Walla these days? Is Laura there?
We're getting thumbs up from Walla Crew people here. Yeah.
Listen, Walla's doing some special stuff, so we're pretty excited about what you're doing, Walla.
Yeah. Awesome. Other questions? The question is it where the email is coming from? Is there an adjustment entity? So I guess the question more broadly is the email that goes out to the client, where is it coming from? Coming from at the studio name, from at FitGrid, what's happening with that? And can that be adjusted?
So it cannot be adjusted right now. It is coming. So we put in the from line the studio name X FitGrid, right? So studio name first. The actual email address is a FitGrid email address. It's blank 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 at followup.fitgrid, you know, sort of thing. The reason that we do that is because we want to protect the anonymity of the instructor. The instructor's email and the privacy of the client's email as well. I shouldn't say anonymity, the privacy of both, right? So if an instructor or a teacher sends out the message, the follow-up email, it will say the instructor's name at the studio in terms of where it comes from. And when the client replies back, it goes back through our email address and then shows up at the instructor's personal email address from that client as well. But we keep it going back and forth in that way so that we don't end up, we can keep it anonymous. One of the things that we heard and we listened to over time was that a lot of studio owners are very concerned about whether their instructors get the personal information of the clients and can therefore go off and do business with them in other ways. We wanted to make sure that we didn't allow that to happen. You'll also see that in our tech solution as well. So we want to maintain that as a key part of what we do.
It's not the instructor emails that I'm having an issue with. It's more like the FitGrid marketing emails. They look like they're coming from me, but they're coming from FitGrid. And there are going to my clients like 3 times a week. Like my marketing information.
So FitGrid marketing emails coming from FitGrid to a studio's clients. Is there adjustments around those settings? Is the question. We have someone who's using FitGrid.
I'd have to understand better what you mean by FitGrid marketing email. There are different types of emails that we send, generally on behalf of the studio. So if your staff sends a client outreach message, then that's going, or if your instructors send messages, if you have opted in, like if, for example, you are using the consumer app, the class app, then that is where you give permission for us to send a message to the client, the client that says, hey, do you want to download the app and be a part of the community? So I just need to understand which ones you're talking about. And we can happy to have an offline conversation about that and dive in deep.
Yeah, they're not a major concern. The comment is on like just the volume of them going at one point in time, if there's a ways to manipulate that or whatever. But we'll get Jackie to reach out directly and talk about it as well. Yeah.
Please, Jackie. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. If there's 20 emails go at the same time. Yeah. Exciting. Other questions or thoughts? Okay.
Can I get a sense, Josh? Because I checked my email, folks. Nobody sent me an email yet. Is anyone interested in coming in as a class, as a group, and we can help you all to sort of go through this? I don't know if putting folks on the spot is helpful, but a show of hands that says that you guys are interested in that.
Yeah,
that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. I'd love if we can help to gather that. Josh, should I work through you or Terry?
Yep, Terry can head that up, and we'll.
Only if you calls me back.
I'm calling you now, Terry.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea to have a cohort going through it together or whatever, getting to test it as well. So yeah.
Very cool.
And then also we'll follow up afterwards, but obviously for those of you watching the live stream who are not here at the summit, there is the option for you to opt into this as well and be part of the cohort and get to go through it. And I think with that guarantee, I really appreciate that you guys are doing that just from a put your money where your mouth is standpoint, because I know that this works, you know that it works, but it just doubles down on it that direct client outreach works. So if you have a system that integrates with FitGrid, good option for that. Awesome. And we really appreciate what you guys are doing. And yeah, I'm sure we're gonna have more people in touch here and in the cohort soon in the next week here.
And I just want to say, I got married in Mexico, guys, like a few months ago, and it was fantastic. But if I weren't married, I'd be like, call me. So you guys have a great time. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Auntie. Talk soon.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.